All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are digging into 7 really simple habits that are designed to do just one thing, give you that lasting all-day energy, without the inevitable crash. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, let me ask you something. Does that feeling of just being completely wiped out, does that feel normal to you? Like it's just part of the deal of being a grown-up?
I mean, for so many of us, this is what the morning looks like, right? You gotta drag yourself out of bed, you make a beeline straight for the coffee, and then bam, like clockwork, you hit that 2 p.m. wall. It's such a frustrating cycle.
But what if the secret isn't just getting more sleep? What if real, lasting energy actually comes down to what you do, or maybe what you don't do, in that very first hour of your day? That's the big idea we're going to get into. So our first set of habits, our first pillar, is all about waking up your body. We're going to look at 3 things you can do to get your physical engine running before you start asking it to perform. Okay, first up, there's this habit called the inner shower. And get this, after sleeping for 7 or 8 hours, you are dehydrated. Your brain actually literally shrinks from the lack of water. So that foggy feeling you have in the morning, that's your brain telling you it is thirsty. So the fix? It is incredibly simple. Just keep a glass of water by your bed and drink it the second you wake up. And hey, here's a little pro tip to make it work even better. Add a tiny pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. That's going to help kickstart your electrolytes for the day. Habit number 2 is what we're calling the sunbeam strategy. Think of your body as having this internal clock, right? Well, sunlight is the signal that tells that clock, hey, stop making melatonin. That's the sleep hormone. If you don't get that signal, your body just kind of stays in this groggy, half-asleep state for hours.
The goal here is just to get that light in your eyes. Stepping outside for 5 or 10 minutes is perfect, but honestly, even just opening a window and looking out makes a difference. And if you're up before the sun, no problem. Just flip on some bright overhead lights inside until sunrise. Habit 3 is all about some gentle movement. You see, while you're sleeping, everything kind of gets stiff. Moving for just 5 minutes starts pumping oxygen-rich blood to your brain and to your muscles, and that wakes them up way faster than a shot of espresso ever could.
And let's be super clear here. We are not talking about a full-on, intense workout. It's just about simple, easy movements. Some gentle neck circles, cat-cow stretches, or my personal favorite, just put on a great song and dance around a little bit. It totally counts.
All right, so your body is awake. Now we can move on to our second pillar, giving it the right kind of fuel to create stable, long-lasting energy.
Most of us start our day on what you could call the sugar roller coaster. You have a muffin or some sugary cereal, you get that quick spike of energy, and then you get that brutal crash. The key is to switch to a protein anchor, which gives you a slow, steady release of fuel all morning.
So what's the magic number here? Well, you want to aim for about 20 to 30 grams of protein. Hitting that target is what stabilizes your blood sugar, it's what gets rid of those mid-morning cravings, and keeps you focused all the way through to lunchtime.
Now for one that sounds a little crazy, I know, delaying your coffee. See, when you first wake up, there's a chemical called adenosine still floating around your system. That's the sleepy chemical. If you drink coffee right away, you're just putting a temporary bandage on it, which sets you up for that massive afternoon crash when the caffeine wears off. So this is what your new morning clock can look like. You spend the first 90 minutes or so hydrating, getting sunlight, moving your body. You're letting yourself wake up naturally. Then you have your coffee. And the result? You still get all the focus, but with none of the crash.
Okay, so your body is awake, and it's properly fueled. Our third and final pillar is all about protecting your mind. Because here's the thing, your physical energy is directly tied to your mental state.
When you first wake up, your brain is in this really cool, relaxed, creative space called the alpha state. If the very first thing you do is grab your phone and see a stressful email or some bad news, you basically hijack your own nervous system, and you put it into a reactive, stressed-out mode for the rest of the day.
The solution here is so simple, but it is a total game changer. Get a cheap physical alarm clock so your phone doesn't have to be the first thing you touch. Just give your brain 30 minutes to wake up peacefully on its own terms before you let all the chaos of the world come rushing in. And our final habit tackles something called decision fatigue. Waking up and immediately thinking about a giant to-do list, it just drains your mental energy before you've even started your day. The one thing rule is about picking your single most important task to give you instant clarity and focus.
So every morning, ask yourself this one simple, powerful question. It just cuts right through all the noise and gives you a clear target. If you can accomplish that one thing, everything else you do that day is a bonus.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but please don't feel like you have to do all 7 of these things tomorrow morning. Real, lasting change comes from making small, consistent promises to yourself. Just remember, this is all about progress, not about being perfect.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Looking back at everything we just talked about, which one habit are you going to try tomorrow? Just pick one. That's it. Master that one and just see what a huge difference it can make to your energy.